Hey guys, Jimmy here and welcome back to another video. 2 in 1 day, I know, I'm spoiling you, but you're worth it, so it doesn't matter. Anyway, today I want to talk about the November update for RF2 that's been put out here in this little roadmap. It's nice to see Studio 397 doing this, given that ISI were infamously bad for giving us any information about anything during their tenure at RF2, so it's nice to have this come out, so thanks for that before I get started. The stuff I want to get to is a bit further down. I'll quickly gloss over what's in it at the moment, just sort of saying that the USF 2000 car, which is this car up here, is coming out November 23rd, which is in 5 days time, which is rad, and that they have the license for next year's car as well, so that's cool to see that already in place. Stuff here about Pepe Lopez, who recently went to the US to do some driving of a real-life Mazda MX-5, a race car, so awesome job to see him get involved in that. Always good to see one of our own get taken into the real world of racing. I hope he did well. I haven't read up on that yet, but my full support there, definitely. Some stuff here about DX11, which is pretty cool, and I'm again looking forward to seeing that implemented when it's time. But the thing that I want to speak about is right at the bottom here. Now, for those who don't know what paid content is, it's very simple. Imagine it as DLC. Let's say Studio 397 make a car comes in, and we pay for it, or you don't get it, essentially. Basically just DLC, very nice and easy. Everyone does it in our little community of sim racing. iRacing do it and don't even pretend it's anything, they just say it's worth the money, so you buy it anyway. Assetto Corsa does it with the Porsche packs, Japanese car pack, etc. Project Cars did it when it was relevant, which was actually never, so ignore that remark. And Automobilista does it as well with their Brit pack and stuff, which I actually need to make a video of at some point. So it's everyone does it, it's completely the norm, so now RF2 sort of moving up to that standard. Now, the thing that makes that interesting is that the content that's come out for RF2 over its lifespan has sort of been very sparse. It comes in fits and spurts. Sometimes we don't hear anything for a year, sometimes we get 2 big cars within 3 months. It's very weird how that happens here, and I'm hoping with the paid content it will be something that will come even more regularly. Now, I wouldn't mind paying for cars and stuff in RF2 if 1, they were to a good quality, which I'm sure they will be given that it is RF2, and 2, they're relevant. They aren't just random cars that get thrown in. It was cool to get stuff like the Cobra and NSX from ISI back then, but they were never relevant. You just sort of drove them on your own, like, oh yeah, this is cool, this is nice to have. I wish this was part of a series. Of course, there's a very famous Super GT cars that we're still waiting for, which I don't think we're ever gonna get. But yeah, they're an example of when something just doesn't come out because maybe with monetary issues or other stuff's going on. If it was paid, I'm sure it'd be out a lot quicker. However, we have to remember that rFactor 2 is already an expensive game. On its own, though, if you buy it for single player with no online at all, it's £23, I think, last time I checked Steam. If you buy it with the lifetime subscription, which you do need to play online, you can buy the subscription a year at a time, but to forget about that, to have the lifetime, it's £63, which is pretty much more expensive than any other sim out there bar iRacing, which is a lot already. And bearing in mind that rFactor 2 doesn't have the audience that iRacing has, it's a lot less players play RF2 than play iRacing, I can pretty much guarantee you that. Adding on top of that paid content that initially, when the game came out, was said to, this is never going to happen, we're never going to charge you for any content, it's a bit worrying. I mean, I'm lucky to be in a position that I'm all paid up there, so that's me sort of done. I don't mind spending a bit more personally on paid content, but let's see some of this content first before you start announcing that you're going to be charging us for content that's coming. When you've got the USF coming out, but that's a car that's been in the process for a while now, so let's see what your plan is. If you're planning to charge us more money for content that we haven't even seen yet on top of this online subscription, then it's got to be worth it, otherwise you're going to end up really alienating a lot of the audience. Also, big thing here as well, modders will also be able to use this to sell their creations. So it's basically saying that paid mods are coming now, or big time, which I think again is a good idea, but there are obviously downsides to it. RF2 is a very difficult game to mod for, sim. How dare I say game? Someone shoot me. given in mind, I mean, the tire model alone is enough to turn a lot of people off, and has turned a lot of people off, and obviously bear in mind stuff like chassis flex as well. It's a very advanced physics model in RF2, and to make a car work properly, you have to have a grasp of this. You can't just say, get a car, bodge together a set of physics as you maybe could in RF1 and put it on the track and it's all handled okay. You do that in RF2, it doesn't work, and obviously you're just back at square one. So maybe having the incentive of money might bring modders in, which would be pretty interesting. Obviously we have to then look at the downside to that. If you are able to charge for mods, then you're going to go to a forum, you're going to go, oh okay, my mod isn't that great, but I'm going to charge for it anyway, however many, a quid for this mod, even though I've done no work in it whatsoever. And then you end up setting a bad precedent. I mean, for those who are into RPGs, you might remember that Skyrim had a similar issue when they tried to make mods viable on their Steam Workshop store, where basically modders were putting up mods that they'd been giving away for free the last 2 or 3 years, and then started to ask money for them, and the backlash was pretty bad. So bad that I think within 2 weeks that went away. That was completely gone. So I'm hoping, because we have a very small community here in RF2 and in sim racing. I think the RF2 community is probably smaller than the Skyrim modding community, but I'm hoping because of that we have sort of sense that this is taken looked at sensibly, and I hope there's some sort of moderation in place there, that mods aren't just allowed to be put up and then asking for money when they are in a finished state or they aren't to a decent quality. And I'm sure that Studio 397 will moderate that. Well, I'm hoping they will. Otherwise, it could go the same way as Skyrim. But I think all in all, it's a good idea, because we do need content for RF2. The stuff we have now is either very old or has been ripped from somewhere else. So it'll be good to see some more stuff coming. Anyway, guys, I'm really interested to hear your thoughts on this. So make sure to leave a comment. I want to maybe start a discussion about this, and of course share it around if you have friends who know this might interest. And of course, hit that like button because you like me, don't you? Yeah. Anyway, guys, thank you for watching. Have an awesome day, and I'll see you next time.